Hello Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. We are going to today, Scorpio, look into your energy right now. And then we're going to look into energy outside of you and try to figure it out a little bit. See what's going on. All right, Scorpio, let's get started. Scorpio's energy right now. Scorpio's energy right now. Right now. Ooh, it's kind of cool. I see like a transformation here. Going from moth energy into owl energy. They're both animals. My hair, my gosh, it's crazy. I like long hair, but it drives me crazy. It's everywhere. Moth and owl are both animals of flight. The moth, though, has a tendency, its flight, at least in the depiction of this card, what it's doing is not the best thing. It's a bad habit kind of energy. Maybe it's a bad, because it's air energy, it could be bad thinking patterns. But, you know, it's always about that flying into the light bulb all night, flying into the light bulb that was left on at the deck in the back of the house, and the moth does that all night, which isn't the best way to utilize its abilities. How is it? It's not the best way for it to utilize its abilities. And in the owl here, though, the owl isn't taking flight. The owl is watching and listening and learning. It's absorbing information. The owl is absorbing information. Getting that? So there's a transformation here for you, Scorpio, of going from using information in a way that you may not even realize you're doing it at first because it's just a habit. And a habit is something that we do without often really thinking about it. It's just programmed. We've programmed ourselves to do something, think a certain way. And then this owl is utilizing the information in a much more beneficial way to self. Yeah, I mean, that's really what's happening here. I mean, you're going from an energy of not utilizing the information in a way that's beneficial to self to utilizing information in a way that is beneficial to self. So seeing the truth more clearly, understanding the truth, not allowing, because the moth is flying into the fake sun. That's what the moth thinks it is, right? It's like the fake sun. It's a light bulb. It's not really the sun. So it's not really wish fulfillment, but perhaps almost self-sabotaging thought. It's kind of getting like self-sabotaging thought. And in the owl, it's just sitting and it's learning and it's listening and it's absorbing the information. It's taking it for what it really is instead of sabotaging it. That's pretty interesting. All right. So what's the energy outside of you? So intriguing. So what's the energy outside of you? Wow, check it out. This is pretty cool. I like what you're reading. I really like it. Right away, it's like one of my favorite readings this week. It's so interesting. So the energy outside of you is fabulous. It's the vulture, the rabbit, and the golden egg. Hot diggity dog. Scorpio. Hot diggity dog. You got great... you did a good thing. You did a really good thing. I want to give you like a thumbs up here, because you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing like what I just explained. I don't have to go through it all over again because, I'm getting old and I just keep repeating myself over and over again. Yeah, like this is a wonderful transition in your energy and what you're doing with what you're receiving almost. Like if somebody comes and tells you something, let's say you're walking on the sidewalk and someone comes and tells you something and something wonderful happened to them. And maybe in the back of your mind you're thinking, oh yeah, good shit always happens to you. I don't know, I'm just making it doesn't have to be that, but just, oh yeah, you always get that. You're always so happy. You're always, I don't know. But, you know, you're saying, oh, that's great, that's great. And then you go back home, you're like, oh, why do they always get that? Why does the good shit always happen? But instead of that, then, okay, same scenario happens 2 weeks later. Maybe it's a different friend though. And they come up and they tell you this great thing that happened. And you're taking it in and you're absorbing it. And instead of projecting whatever way you would have projected before, you're taking that information in and you're saying, how did I do that? How did they do that? And like really listening to what they're saying instead of maybe a dialogue going in your head, because this is a really big thing. I find out that I've said, this has been said before, that when people speak, do you listen to hear or do you listen to respond? Right? We always have to have like but just to sit and listen. Like you don't run into a lot of people. I mean, even myself, because I'm chitty chatty. I have Gemini all through my chart. I'm like, oh, my mind is going, what are we going to talk about? And I have to like stop and listen. To stop and listen. So at some point, somehow, I'm getting like this stop and listen and really take it in, because once you start doing that, then you actually start to learn some shit. then you actually get to process what's coming in. This is what you've started doing. You've processed what started coming in, and instead of trying to project it in any sort of way, now you have information and you can actually have a conversation with that person, but you can ask the right questions to get answers to things you never knew about before. Like that's cool. That's kind of cool to do that, right? To do that. And you'll run into a lot of people too, where there's something you feel you really want to I run into that all the time. Actually, that's why I love YouTube, because nobody interrupts me. I swear to God, I'm going through that with my son right now. I have to say, like, you constantly interrupt me. I never get to say anything. But because, and he has a young mind, so he's still working on that. But you run into adults, right, where you try to say something and you never get it out because they always talk over you. They always want to say something. They're in the conversation to participate one way, not both ways. I'm getting you're participating both ways here. You're using your mind. It's good. And I see this here with the vulture, because the vulture's clearing out things from the past, negative energies from the past that aren't serving us. Usually clearing out these negative energies so that a fresh new beginning can take place without that energy existing from the past, because it's the past. It doesn't need to come into the future. So with the vulture sitting here like that, that's really good. Like you've eliminated that energy from the past, that thinking pattern from the past. You're bringing this new pattern with you. So here's the trick, right? Like anything. I should look it up because I always quote it and I don't know if I'm getting the number of days right. I think it takes 21, right now, it takes 21 or 22 days to make a new habit. How many days to establish a new habit? Oh my God. Oh no, okay, well that one says, oh no, it's someone asking, is it true that it takes 21 days? They're saying it takes 18 to 254 days. I wish I had looked that up. For a person to form a new habit, and an average of 66 new days for a new behavior to become automatic. Oh geez. Yeah, I was really looking at the brighter end of that stick, wasn't I? Okay, so there you go. You gotta try to focus on this because it's easy to slip into old habits, and that's why. I always thought it was 21 days because I always thought like if you wanted to start a new exercise program or something, I'd always heard like it takes 21 days, like force yourself to get up and do it. Or if you want to get up and meditate, you gotta force yourself for 21 days. You have to be authentically present with yourself for 21. Let's just say 21 days, okay? If you've started this, 21 days, start marking it on the calendar. Because at some point you might try to slip back into this, but this is good because look at what happens here. And then you move into this energy of, I'm feeling like this rabbit is anticipation this week. Anticipation of something good. having manifested something, and now you're doing the final step in the manifestation, which is literally waiting for the delivery truck to come in. That's the last step of manifestation, is knowing that knowing that it's coming. Not hoping, not wishing, it's knowing. And you've done that somehow here by shifting your thought pattern or your energy, your habit of thinking. And look at that habit of thinking here. Look at that. It's clearing out that dark energy. And here you go. So you are manifesting the golden egg. Something real is coming, is hatching for you. Your golden egg is coming. And you did it. You did it. You should give yourself a pat on the back because, well, yeah, the universe, you know, they did it too. But they ain't delivering it if you ain't waiting for it. So, but you can't be waiting for it. You can't know that it's coming until you've done this work. So that's great. That's good. I like that. It's awesome. What's at the bottom? Oh, you're at the bottom. Look at you. Oh, you know what I heard? Because this is not Scorpio. This is a Scorpion. Okay? It would kind of be like, the easiest one for me is, because I'm an Aries, a ram. So it'd be like if this was the ram card. It's not necessarily the energy of your zodiac. What this is depicting, though, it's interesting that it is, is something that's at its end. It's at its wit's end. You've had enough. You can't do anymore. I'm kind of feeling like I can't swim into the, I can't fly into this god darn it light bulb anymore. I can't do it anymore. So you've faced something. You've realized that dang light bulb isn't the sun. It's just frickin' dark and I have to deal with that. It's just dark and I have to deal with that. At some point the sun will come up. Aha, right? Now, see, that's the realization. At some point the sun is going to come up. It's dark. I have to deal with it. It's a cycle. I'm in it. It's dark. What the heck? Okay? Oh, and look, see, because the owl is also sitting in the dark. Once you stop flying into the light bulb, your eyes can adjust and you can see the stuff in the dark. This is so profound. Such a profound reading. I love when this shit comes in. Oh my gosh. Yeah, right? Because it's like a light bulb, or it's like being in turning the bathroom light on at night. Oh my God. Old people do that, I guess, because they can't see. But then I find you can't see at all for like the next 10 minutes. But it is, you can't, because you're so focused on trying not to see the dark. I don't want to see the dark. I don't want to see the dark. So that could also represent some sort of shadow work, like looking within. The owl here is the enlightened one because it's sitting in the dark. It knows that the sun will come up even though that it's dark, and that's fine. I'm good with the dark. I can see if I sit here long enough in the dark, I can see what's in the dark. And then once we see what's in the dark, it doesn't scare us so much because we look at it. It's when we don't look at things that we build it up in our mind and we imagine. What are the best horror movies where they don't show you anything? It's just constantly anticipation and suspense. It's like, oh my God, because you build it up in your mind. You imagine how scary it is. Like, nobody can often depict something as scary as what is in your head. Oh, it's such a great read. I like it. Okay, so there you go. So let's go to tarot card. I don't even feel like it. This is wonderful. And I had like a little spoon of peanut butter before she was doing that, and he just gave me like a little oomph. I can't have the peanut butter when my son's home because he's allergic. So I had the peanut butter way high up on the shelf, and then I have to sanitize the spoon and everything. So this is like my spoonful of peanut butter. So that's my little. And I do get the sugar peanut. I do get like Jif. My mom has natural peanut butter. Oh, bless her heart. She does try to be healthy. And you know, I guess she's getting older. She's trying to do that. My stepdad has like the sugariest peanut butter possible. They sit right beside each other. So I was up there one time and Lily loves peanut butter. Dogs love peanut butter. So, and of course, if she's getting peanut butter, then I tell my son, you can't give her, no kisses for the rest of the day. Kisses from her for the rest of the day. But so I found this out about Lily. Lily does not like the natural peanut butter. No. She wants the stuff with the icing sugar in it. Of course, why not, right? Dogs are not dumb. What are you giving me that? Remember, I was trying to, like, oh, tastes healthy. So I gave her a little, and she smelled it. I think stick her tongue out, and then she didn't, and then she walked away. I don't know. Lily doesn't like the natural. I told my mom, I said, Grandma, Lily doesn't like your natural peanut butter. I know, right? Like, I still push my own parents, but the moon. Oh, yeah, look at that. The moon and the sun. You're sitting in the damn dark. You're sitting in the dark, maybe staring into the moon. You were trying to stare into something instead of looking in the dark. I want to get, it's interesting that there's one under each one though. I kind of wanted 3. If something comes out, it does. If it doesn't, then I think we're left with that. Oh, oh. Now look at this. So, okay. The first, what we have here is the moon and the Son of Pentacles. It's kind of like the Knight of Pentacles, but it's more defensive. It's being defensive. It's being on guard. It's being present. Because this, the moon, right? The unknown. Being in the unknown. Not wanting to maybe look at it. Not wanting to acknowledge. It's just the cycle. I'm in the unknown. I'm going to try to fly towards a fake sun. All night through this cycle. And then you get the owl, who's this knowing, who's finally realizing, well, it's dark. What are you going to do? It's dark. What are you going to do? And then here is like almost like taking some sort of slow action. Just doing your thing even. Because the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is slow moving but with a plan. Slow moving but with a plan. And then the Tower and the Son of Swords is creating something, which is probably your golden egg over here. Like your energy shift is bringing in your golden egg. What a valuable lesson in that, no? What a valuable lesson. Your energy shift is bringing in your golden egg. There's probably some sort of divine timing going on too. Put all the pressure on you, right? It's not there. Okay. Tell us about the vulture, the rabbit, and the golden egg. Well, that sounds like a children's fairy story too. The vulture, the rabbit, and the golden egg. I can't make this up. I don't even need anything more perfect. The devil to the star. Look at that. The devil to the star. I told you, you did something really good. You dissipated, you eliminated, you abolished, you faced this dark devil energy. You did it, and it wasn't so scary to look at it. Once you looked at it, you're like, oh, you know what? What? That's not so bad. But look what it creates. It creates balance. It creates harmony. It creates the potential for wish fulfillment. It's the potential. Because the sun is the wish fulfillment. My story with this all the time is that this star represents putting yourself in the energy of creating wish fulfillment. Because you are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically balanced. You are balancing. Right? You are balancing. Usually you see someone... Yeah, no, it's Temperance just has the wings. But you see someone, a person on earth, balancing the waters. The alchemy of life. Them being in balance with that. Because once you're in that balance, the universe can hear you speak. The universe can hear you speak. Because you are now vibrating and communicating at the frequency that the universe does. And the universe is what's bringing in shit. Brought us in, right? Like, I mean, everything around us is pretty much a miracle. So you are now I'm literally getting the universe can now hear you speak. So you're bringing in the golden egg. These, I don't know. Yeah, they just fell out. They just fell out. I don't know. Someone's going to want to know what it is, so I'll show you. So I'm like, well, I know, because I'm like that too. If I'm watching a reading, I'm like, oh, don't put them away. Maybe they mean something to me. So maybe this means something to somebody. The Lovers, the Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Mother of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Hermit. That's a long-winded story. You're trying to do a Libra on me here. Choices, perhaps a romantic choice coming forward, bringing abundance as well. High Priestess energy, like knowing. You've been sitting in the dark, but you're about to know all sorts of shit. the Mother of Swords, absolutely. The Hermit, there may be some time for some reflection too. And the Four of Pentacles, stability, balance. Oh, geez, look at that. Temperance is on the bottom. There's that other angelic energy. That's sort of like the universe bringing things into balance. This is you. This is your work, the star. This is you. You know, this is not depicted as someone with wings on their shoulders doing this. Bringing, you know, balancing the waters, but like in typical tarot. But the Temperance card does have the wings, so that is sort of the same sort of balance, but it's the universe doing. So you're communicating with the universe. All right, so we're going to go to my Return of Spirit Oracle deck, and we're going to ask, and they kind of both feel like you. Both these energies feel like you, Scorpio. This feels like you in the present, and this feels like you in the future, working with the universe. So whoever, whatever energy this is, if it's the universe, if it's your future self, what does that energy want to tell you right now? If it can tell you something, what does that energy want to tell you right now? If it can tell you something. Divinity, up. With that, things are looking up. Very divine. It's very, very divine. It's very divine. Your vibrational energy is going up. You are you're projecting yourself into this very divine cycle. Very, very divine cycle. What is the spade? Is that like the swords? No, I thought the diamonds were the swords. This is reminding me of an ace of spades. I need to look that up. I'm sure I don't do that with the tarot. I know some do, and I'm really impressed at how people do that. They read the regular playing cards as tarot. I'm getting an ace of spades. Ace of spades as tarot. This is twice I used my phone for you today. I think it's a sword. Oh, file not found. All right, I think it's a sword. You guys can put that in if you guys are familiar with that. Cartomancy, yeah, cartomancy. Am I saying that right? I'm sorry. I hope I'm not wasting your time. Oh. Oh. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. The Ace of Spades is actually often like a bad omen, or it's a negative period. Some sort of sorrow or depression. So look at that, because you're moving, I want to say you're moving up and out of that because you're going into this divine energy. That's kind of interesting, right? Because we had that over here. You're going up and out of that. So you are really shifting yourself in a big way, a really big way. All right, this is you, your deeper self. If you could tell yourself something, your deeper self could tell you something. You could tell Scorpio something. Assistance. Interesting. Assistance. Something's coming in to assist you here. Can you tell us more about the assistance? The assistance card. More information about the assistance for Scorpio. Oh, oh dear. The fairy magic assistance. Okay. So, some shit just might not be going so well every once in a while. Do you know what that is? That's fairy magic. That is absolutely fairy magic. That is... To give you a good idea, I'm going to give you a personal experience here that played out for me a couple of days ago. And it really brought out like all this emotion in me. And I really had like a big cry, and I was really upset. And so when I walk Lily, I usually go that way. it's a nicer community. And I hate to say that. It's like, sometimes I walk into communities where people are not doing so well financially, and it becomes obvious why. It's like, you have to look at life with a better attitude. So when we go this way, which she loves to go because the houses are really jammed in close together, and so there's lots of little spots to sniff. I feel like there's always someone. You don't have to go looking. You don't even have to talk to anyone, and they come out and they spill out on you. And that's what happened. I'm standing there, and there's a little tiny strip of boulevard. It's so tiny. Of course, it's boulevard. It is town property. But Lily's sitting, and she's having her wee squat. She's doing her whittle poop. And her poops are pretty small. And I pick them up all the time. I pick them up. And honestly, we haven't walked in that direction probably for at least 2 weeks. The guy's in a driveway with his wife and his kids. And they start yelling at me. I'm like, what? Don't you let your dog? I'm like, I pick it up. And then he goes on and on about how much time he spends on his lawn. I don't know, it was just like, like I was just verbally attacked, minding my own business, walking my dog. And then I thought, like, I kept trying to say, like, I'm not doing anything, I'm picking it up. And he's like, make your dog poop on your part. I'm like, she does poop on my part. She poops in the backyard. I gotta pick it up all the time before the landscaper comes. Like, and I just, walking, I was like, why? I was trying to have a good day. Like, why are these people attacking me? And, you know, and I came home and I was just really upset. It just put me down, and because every once in a while I just get into this point where I'm like, you know what, I really had it with humanity. I'm gonna tell you guys. And I'm sure many of you have been in that point. It's just like, some days it feels like it doesn't matter how much you give, there's always somebody who's going to attack. And you're just like, I didn't do anything. So, but it got me into this energy where I thought, there's something here. This shouldn't bother me this much, right? This shouldn't bother me this much. And it did, and it triggered something, and it made me look inside, which I feel like you've kind of done here, but that's fairy magic. At the end of the day, like, I was exhausted from being so upset. At the end of the day, I looked at the situation and I thought to myself, I was actually grateful for him. I was grateful for him. I thought maybe he's not in the best headspace, but the universe used him to trigger me. And that made me aware of something that I needed to look at inside. Like, it's sitting in there, and whatever it was, I wasn't letting it out. And this triggered it. And then it came out. So in a way, he was helpful. I didn't walk down there this morning, though. I'm gonna go down there again. But that's what fairy magic is. It doesn't seem good at the time. It doesn't seem good at the time, but is it intended to help you? It is intended to help you. And that's assistance. That's quite interesting, because that is fairy magic. It's like going out and you're late for work and the tire's flat. You're like, great, I'm already late, the tire's flat, but you just didn't realize if you had left at the right time that you usually leave, you would have been in a 4-car pileup and you may have been severely hurt. Like, that's fairy magic. So it can feel like, shit, this world, why is it doing this? Sometimes it's there to support you. So the celestial is at the bottom. That's very, very divine energy. You're coming into a very divine time. You know what? And divine is using little triggers, maybe just like me, to get you to clear some stuff, because once you clear that, you can really go into this very high vibrational energy. You can't take that lower vibration, like whatever myself I was hanging on to there. It had to come out. It had to be released. I had to address it. And then I had to look at it and sit there and think about it. Like, why? Why am I so upset about this? Why? You know, maybe you're going through something like that because you've got the fairy magic here. The fairies, you know, people think they're mischievous, but I've always said that mischief is there to try to help you grow. It's try to help you see something, to push through something in a way that you're not doing right now. That's good. I like that. Right? That's good. All right. Thank you, Scorpio. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.